is Carol again, and I am reading the story today about faithfulness. It's a story written by Tiki and Rhonde Barber, and some of you, if you're a football fan, may know that they played professional football for the NFL, 2 different teams. But this is a story about when they were young and first learning to play football. It starts out, first there was daylight, then there wasn't. The hole in the line opened and closed that quickly, smack. Tiki saw the football fly into the air. At the same moment, he felt his feet go out from under him. Fumble! Tiki lay on his side, helpless, watching the squirming mass of arms and legs. The referee was poking and peeling off bodies. Rhonde was the next to last player on the bottom of the pile. Maybe? No. The Vikings had lost the ball on a fumble for the 3rd time. Yeah, it was only a preseason practice game. Still, it was the Vikings' rivals, the Knights. Tiki, head bent, shuffled off the field, wishing he could just plain disappear. After the game, the twins were waiting for their mother to pick them up. They walked off the practice field with Coach Mike. Rhonde tried to cheer his brother up. "It's okay, Tiki, mistakes happen." Coach Mike interrupted. "Mistakes do happen, but you can make them less often if you..." And he paused. Tiki jumped in and said, "Practice?" The coach smiled. "Have you heard the old saying, practice makes perfect?" The twins smiled back and nodded. Who hadn't heard that? Well, it's not exactly true. What? Coach Mike held the football in front of him. He held it with one hand. If you carry a football like this, you'll never get good because it's the wrong way to carry the ball. Then Coach Mike went on. See, 4-point contact. Your fingers around the tip, the other tip under your armpit, one side next to your body, and one side against your forearm. Try knocking it out. Both Rhonde and Tiki took turns. They couldn't do it. A car horn sounded and the twins waved and scrambled toward their mother's car with Tiki carrying the football. "Hi, Mike." "Hi, Mrs. Barber. We were just talking about the right way to practice carrying a football." Mrs. Barber laughed. "Good, because we have boxes to carry from the pantry to a closet, and I don't want any of them dropped." In the lunchroom on Monday at school, Tiki was the last to arrive at the table where the football players sat. They were talking excitedly. And then there was an awkward silence. Tiki glanced at Rhonde, who looked away, and slowly the table emptied. "See you at practice." At last, Tiki was alone with his brother. "What were you guys talking about?" Nothing." "Come on, tell me." Rhonde paused and then in a quiet voice said, "Jason and some of the other players think you should block more and carry the ball less. They think you fumble too many times." Tiki sighed. "Well," and Rhonde cut in, "Tiki, you are our best runner, but maybe..." The bell rang, and they called "see you after school" to each other. They had a special place. They called it a fort, but it was really just some old wooden planks surrounded by tall weeds. That afternoon, Rhonde brought a book to the fort. It was a special book called a scrapbook. A big photo of football was pasted on the cover. Tiki sat glumly, his mind on his teammates' comments about fumbling. and Rhonde looked at the scrapbook. Suddenly, he stopped. He held up a picture with a caption underneath. "Check this out. Some inventor is trying to make a tackling machine." He handed the picture to Tiki and went on. "It's weird looking, padded arms, try to knock the ball away. It's supposed to help practice against fumbling." Rhonde stared at the picture and said, "Hey, I've got an idea." The next morning, Tiki and Rhonde rode their bicycles, and Rhonde led the way. Turning into the park, he stopped at the edge of the golf course, got off his bike, and took 2 helmets and a football out of a bag that was attached to his handlebars. "Here," he handed Tiki a helmet, and next he placed 2 long sticks on the ground to mark kind of a narrow runway. "Now," he said, flipping the football to Tiki, "try and get through this human tackling machine." "Easy." Tiki caught the ball, walked backwards, spun around, and darted toward his brother while staying between the sticks. Rhonde tackled his brother and with a free hand slapped the ball out of his grip. Again, Tiki barreled down straight towards Rhonde. Rhonde ducked up, 2 hands, swiped the ball out. They kept practicing. Sometimes Tiki and the ball got through, but many times they didn't. Both boys were grasping for breath when they heard a clock chime from a distant tower. "Ooh, time to go." The days passed. Hot summer gave way to the cool days of fall. Tiki and Rhonde studied hard each night. "Homework first," their mother always said. But the twins also kept up their morning practice club, and the Vikings started winning. They won their first game. They won their second game. The Tiki kept improving. In the 5th game, he was blindsided and dragged to the ground with a hard tackle, but he held on to the ball. Coach Mike took notice. Tiki no longer waved the ball in the air. "Your brother's more than just a runner now," the coach said. "He's a ball carrier, our go-to guy." After a while, the secret morning practice club had a new member. Paco was bent over, hands on knees, breathing hard. "So that's it," he exclaimed. "You guys do this extra stuff. All along I thought you were just naturals, and now I find out—" Rhonde broke in. "Hey, let's talk. More practice." The boys sat on the grass after running the ball. Saturday was another big game against the Knights. "Are you nervous?" Paco asked. "Like Coach says, keep the faith, and I will." Game day, and what a game it was. Back and forth, up and down, seesaw. First quarter, 7-7. Halftime, 14-14. Third quarter, 21-21. With 5 minutes left in the game and still tied, the Vikings had the ball. Coach Mike's words echoed in their ears as they took to the field. "Hang on to the football." The Vikings huddled. Tiki heard nothing except his number called to get the ball. He wanted it, and he got it, time and time again. With knees high, he spun to the left, slammed into and over a linebacker, sprinted around a defensive end, plowed straight behind his brother, 3 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, again and again. Everywhere he ran, there was a swarm of tacklers, swinging their arms out, grabbing at the football. But Tiki never let go. Yards piled up, seconds became minutes. On the final play, the Knights tackled Tiki, grabbing with all their strength. Tiki, head down, clasping the ball to his chest, drove straight ahead. He struggled, he dove, he pushed hard. The game-ending horn sounded. Tiki, still clutching the football, looked up to see his brother grinning. You can let go now. You held on, scored the final points. Tiki bounced to his feet and tossed the ball to his brother. The Vikings shouted, jumping and waving. Rhonde laughed out loud. Now we can let go. And he flung the football as high as he could into the air. Victory! Now, I do love football. But I think the important part of this story is how you have to be faithful to doing what is right. We can all practice, but if we don't practice it the right way, we don't learn the lessons that we need. My coach in life is Jesus, and using his words and the way he taught me to live, I practice. And I try and practice the way he wants me to, so that in the end, I too will be a good servant of the Lord. It's been fun reading to you, and I hope we can do this again some other time. And I hope you will practice being a good servant of the Lord, listening to the coaches in your life, your parents, your Sunday school teacher. It's always good to practice, but make sure you're practicing the right way. Thank you.